It's Thursday. That means it's an all-new episode of the Geek Chat here on the Experience. We've got some new number ones for you, and did we like them? You'll just have to stay tuned.
I forgot to hit the button. It's going to be one of them days, the geeks.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us. We are the Geek Chat on the Experience. Very excited to be here today. I am Beardy Rich.
I'm Little Black Beardy Daz.
And we are your Geek Chatters. We've been doing this for a while. And hey, Kelly, welcome in. And so we've got some news topic, newsworthy. I don't even know what to call it. I can't call it hot topics because that's the View, and I don't want to get sued.
Yes, and the third Beardy, although he has like mutton chops now, I think, is the very distracted producer Kyle. Welcome back, Kyle. We missed you last week. Hope you had a lot of fun.
It's nice having Jay though.
It was.
So every week, news whatever. That's right.
Yeah.
This week, our giveaway, I really want. So no one do the hashtag, okay? No one.
So that's the wrong
tagline.
That was last week's tagline. You're right. It's going to be a very interesting one.
1 in 25 Pete Woods variant.
Yes,
for Ultimate Spider-Man number 17.
Yes, it's the Happy Mother's Day cover, and it is
which is only a month late, but okay.
And it's so beautiful. I mean, seriously, when I saw this cover, I was thinking to myself, is this a wrong one? Is this not the right one? Where am I at a time warp? And so I kind of looked around and was like, nope, it's the newest one. So I was like,
yes, right. I haven't read this issue yet. It's sitting there. It'll be tomorrow when I get to read this one.
Yeah. So as always, put in hashtag Geek Chat into the comment section. We really want to give this away to all you fantastic, beautiful people, and know that if we don't give it away, Rich gets it. And I don't get these for Rich. I get these for you out there in video land. So it's been a lot of crazy stuff going on. One of the craziest things is that we will not be doing the show next week. Unfortunately, Rich has to work quite a bit. He's putting in a bunch of hours, slinging them goods. Slinging them goods. So unfortunately, we will not be able to have a show next week, but we will be back the following week. So
yes,
and we're reviewing what?
Imperial. I read it this afternoon.
Oh,
it is Hickman's new book. Comes out next Wednesday. It is the space stuff, and I'm very interested to talk about it. I cannot wait. I can't wait for you to read it.
Hi, Duke. Welcome in. Hi, Eddie.
Hey, Duke. Hey, Eddie. Hey, Space Case Collectibles.
Yes, Space Case Collectibles. Welcome. So again, we will not be doing a show next week, but we will be back the following week, and then into the horizon, until one of us needs to do something and we can't be here. So, as always, we really appreciate you coming in. We're getting ready. We're just started. So if you have any friends or family you want to send a link to say, hey, come watch these dorky ass guys talk about comics for the next hour, please do, because again, we want to spread this geeky love to everyone in there. Okay. Oh, so Kyle says, depending on his pain level, maybe he'll be filling in. So yeah, hopefully Kyle will be filling in. You can see his fantastic magical mutton chops. So having said all of that, let's get into some comic book news. So for the first half hour, we're going to talk about some interesting and quite sad news that has happened within the comic book industry. The first one being the passing of the great Peter David. This was just a tremendous. He was a tremendous writer, and when I say tremendous, his output was fantastic. a lot of people don't know this, or maybe they do, depending on, if you followed his career. He's not just written comic books. He's written novels. He has written screenplays. Everything that has to do with the written word, he has pretty much done, and really fantastic ways. He wrote Star Trek novels for the Next Generation,
Babylon 5.
like Babylon 5, and then of course his contributions to comic books cannot be understated. One of my favorite all-time runs that Peter David did, and we've talked about this before, but it was the Captain Marvel with Chris Cross. I thought that storyline, that whole episode was just like, all those comics were just fantastic. They were just great. And what he did with Marvel and Jones was just great. Yes, and the art for Captain Marvel with Chris Cross was fantastic. And it's just a fantastic, I keep saying fantastic because that's the only word that just kind of, that I can, describe that. I read every issue. Every issue was fantastic. If you could find a collected edition of that book, you really should, because it is phenomenal. See, there's another one. It's phenomenal, and it starts with P, not F. And yeah, I just really great. And I know you, Richard, you loved. I'm saying Richard because I know you love it. You loved his X Factor run.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm assuming the first two. The third one was a little was a little
Yeah.
rocky, but the first two and that second one, I know you absolutely adored.
Yeah. So for me, he wrote Young Justice, which
Oh, fantastic!
was amazing.
Another great one. I have all those issues too.
A huge run on Incredible Hulk. No one wanted the book, so he was free to do whatever he wanted on it, and he created the Pantheon. He did some really great work in that, but I loved his X Factor run when he took the book over.
Yeah.
And then he changed it into the detective agency with Madrox. And I think him being able to go from the government and then really bringing a personal touch when it was the detective agency with Madrox. He took a character, Madrox, that not a lot of people really liked. He was just a background character. I mean, Peter David made him a integral part in the beginning X Factor when he was with the government and doing all sorts of things with Havoc, and Polaris. It's interesting to read, though. Yes, the Quicksilver stuff. And Quicksilver do you remember when he was meeting with the psych, Doc Samson?
Yeah, that whole therapy issue is just it is cited as one of the best. That issue was cited as one of the best character-driven stories that where he was able to break down each character so well. And I have to agree, it's just fantastic.
I did not read his Supergirl run. That I did not read.
And I need to, that is on my list. So this summer when I'm going to comic book conventions, hopefully
you're going to track him down.
I'm going to track him down. I know because he's, he passed away recently, they're probably not going to like push them up, but I know a lot of his stuff is going to be, put out there on display. So, but yes, I wanted to read that run. I didn't realize that the first person to start that off was Gary Frank, was the first artist for that book. I had no idea. So
he's worked with some great artists over the years.
Yeah, Dale Cohen, really for the Hulk stuff.
Hey, Barlord.
Ross, like we said before.
Hey, Shonuff.
Hey, Kenneth.
Yeah, we lost a good one. Like we really did. And I don't want to go into it too much, but it really shows the freelance writers at Marvel. You're hired, you're gone. And at the end of the last couple of years, his family's been doing GoFundMes for his health problems and the bills. So he is at peace now. He's not in any more pain, but we lost a good one. We really did.
Yeah. And if you want to, I know that Eddie had put in there about his Star Trek New Frontier. If you want to put in the chat some of your best stories that you loved from Peter David, please put them in there, because I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff that I have never read, either because I didn't hear about it or I didn't know about it. So please, and I think producer Kyle's going to let us know. What was some of your favorites, producer Kyle?
Well, it's definitely Captain Marvel, but I just wanted to let people know the GoFundMe's not going away.
Oh, it's not.
No, they're gonna because there are still huge medical bills to be paid.
Yeah.
Funeral expenses, things like that. So the GoFundMe is going to continue for at least the time being, with his caretaker and some other people kind of managing it for them. But the GoFundMe is not going away. So if you have the ability to go find that, please give if you can.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, please let us know in the comments any Peter David comics that you liked, novels that you liked, TV series that you liked. I know he did I think he did Ben 10 Alien Force as well, if you watched any of the cartoons or series that he was a part of. So please let us know. And we lost a good one. You know, we lost a good one. You know, he had such integrity, and a lot of people don't know is he did a lot of really good work for the LGBTQ plus alphabet, you know, folks as well. He was a great ally and was honored by GLAAD and other affiliates due to his work. So definitely a fantastic artist.
There you go, Kelly. Kyle got it up for you.
Yes. So, all right, everybody. So, moving on to that, from that to something that's even sadder, if you can believe it. Probably not. That was just a joke. It's Doomsday Avengers, Secret Wars, and Doomsday has been postponed. Sad face. Not surprised face.
It went from May 1st to December 18th, and then they are changing Avengers Secret Wars to December of 2027. And according to this, they also removed a February 13th and a November 6th from the slot, leaving only Doomsday for 2026. That is sad that we go a year and a half with no Marvel being in the public eye.
So is that sad, really?
What do you think?
Or is that good? I think this is a strategic move. Of course, everything is. Like, they have marketing teams. They have all these different people who are looking at, you know, consumer, what people are consuming and this and that. I think that Marvel is going to be super quiet. They're going to, or they already are, once Fantastic Four hits, that post-credit scene for Fantastic Four is going to have to make us salivate, like literally salivate at the end, in order to make us wait for Avengers Doomsday, and the rest of it, because they need a win. Like Warlord said, they need a win, and I think that's what they're doing. They recognize that there is there's a lot of Marvel stuff, and people are over. They're over it, and I think also which we haven't really touched upon is DC has a whole bunch of stuff coming out, and so I'm thinking they don't want to compete with DC right now as well. You know, with Superman coming out, and which I know Fantastic Four is going to be coming out at the same time as Superman, around the same time. And then I'm just thinking that they're going to let James Gunn cook a little bit and then come back with Avengers Doomsday and try to like really dominate again, because you know that Avengers Doomsday is going into Secret Wars, and then Secret Wars is going into the Mutant Saga. And I think they are trying to do new stories, new pre-production, all this stuff to make the mutant saga shine. I think that's what Marvel is doing. I think that they are aligning all of their stuff in order to push out the mutant saga. Avengers Doomsday, Avengers Secret Wars, both those things are just the opening salvo to the mutant saga, in my opinion. That's what's happening. And then we're probably going to get a couple of years of mutant-based movies, TV, and mutant-based merchandising, because I don't want to say that for MCU, Avengers is a quote-unquote dead franchise. It's not. It's just I think Marvel or the MCU is going to move over to something new that they can pull out.
Eddie, so. I think about that all the time when I hear people talk about the mutant saga, and I'm like, it's been 20 years. Sure, why not? Let's just go another 15 or 20 years before we get a movie. In 2087, we'll finally get our freaking X movie.
I Garf Wong. You know what? I can't with you. I can't with you right now.
Why?
It'll come because it'll show up. What are you going to be doing?
Show up.
What are you going to be doing in the next 5 years?
What am I going to be doing?
That you can't call me up and ask me to buy tickets for this for the first X-Men movie or whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
You're still going to be there. We're still going to be chatting, and we're still going to go, and we're going to talk to these folks, about
We'll just both be using our walkers.
Hell no. I'm going to get one of them quickies, run around, honking at the kids. I waited. I could see you like in your walker talking about, move out the way, damn kids. I done waited 15 years for this. 50 years. And watch. The first main villain is gonna be damn Mr. Sinister. I'm gonna be so pissed. Like, Mr. Sinister again. Damn it.
Yes. Oh my God. But you know what? We've got Disney Plus stuff, the Wonder Man that I'm not looking forward to, and Ironheart, which is not whatever.
I'm ready for both of them.
We've got some Disney Plus stuff.
I'm here for both of them. I cannot wait for them. I think they're going to be great because they have to be great because we're not getting any other Marvel. Well, we have Daredevil too. We're getting Daredevil.
Okay, next year.
So we have Daredevil, we have Wonder Man, and we have Ironheart. Y'all better strap in because that's all you're getting for a while.
And some animated stuff. We're getting like animated Marvel zombies.
Oh my Lord. So yeah, I really believe that they're just kind of like slowing down the Marvel industrial complex because they know that it's just not hitting anymore, and so they have to switch gears. And I think they've used Avengers for a lot now, and I think they're trying to pivot to something else. I mean, they got it, do it.
Yeah, did you see that Thunderbolts lost $100 million, and it's like the second worst produced or money? I don't know. It's second worst something or other. I just read the headline and it was like, it's a shame because that movie was not as bad as everyone is.
It wasn't
letting on to be.
It wasn't. It was a lot better than a lot of the stuff they're churning out right now. So
yep.
So for that, I'm just kind of like, y'all are just crazy. Like y'all are. I don't know.
X-Men 97 season 2 is 2027.
Yes. Again, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it as a lead-in to this mutant saga. I'm telling you.
No, I don't think that had anything to do with it. I think the fact that when they fired Bo, he had already laid out all of season 2.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't want to do this, so they're
You think so? I
do.
Well, maybe they are. They are. But hey, why not? I mean, if the stars align and all and everything comes up mutants, then there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, BBB. I wanted to make it, but I had to work.
Yeah, he's working a lot. Okay,
the problem
let's see.
Marvel has is they
Warlord.
Yes. Oh, I agree 100%.
Warlord says the problem that Marvel has is they needed to establish a pattern of good movies again. So even if it was the best thing made, they'll have to take the hits. That's true. And then Eddie, they kind of have a bad rep after Thor: Love and Blunder. I mean, parts of Thor: Love and Blunder were okay. Other parts of it were just, shite. So, but
did we review it?
We did review it, and it was, and we did not give it a really good one.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like pooping on kids, but that's a bad movie.
Yes, it was. All right.
Anyway,
So,
last thing we're going to talk about before we actually get into some comics is the DC Marvel crossover event that's coming. This is what we didn't know we wanted, and we do. So, yay, everybody. Look at this. They figured, hey, why lose money separately when we can lose money together? Yay. Okay, producer Kyle's coming in hot with the comment.
Well, no, I will say this. At Comics Pro, when they talked about this, the overwhelming vibe was Marie Javins and CB Cebulski have both wanted to do this for a while, and they finally got the bean counters to leave them alone long enough to pull it off. Where it was one of those things is they've been working on trying to do something together for probably since George Perez died.
Yeah.
And they finally were like, oh, well, if they're not looking, let's make something because everybody's worried about movies right now. Hurry, run.
Why not? The thing right now is it can't be worse than anything else that's going on, whether it's comic books or films or movies or whatever. It's like, I love it because this is the definition of just like throwing stuff onto the wall and seeing what sticks. If this doesn't scream cash grab, I don't know what is. And I hate to be cynical, but it's just too funny not to be. But yes, will I be picking it up? Of course. Will I pick up both issues? Of course. It's like, and we're gonna review it. We have to. Like it's just
yeah. So the Marvel side is written by Zeb Wells, and the art is Greg Capullo.
Yep.
And I am very excited to see the art, but you especially were not a fan of Mr. Wells and his Spider-Man.
It's a different character. Maybe he'll get this one right.
So I'm curious, like, and then the DC side is Grant Morrison and Dan Mora again.
Well, that's just fantastic. So.
They got two amazing artists, so I'm very happy. But like, you got Grant Morrison, and then you got Zeb Wells. I mean, okay, let's see. Let's see their take on the Cape Crusader and the Merc with a Mouth. So why not? Yes, Barlord, give me Dan Mora any day.
So I just wonder, like, we were talking about this before we started. This, producer Kyle was there, and we were talking as we were getting ready for the show. And he loves Grant Morrison, and I like parts of Grant Morrison. And I say parts is when he's not drenched in psychobabble. He tells a really good story. And I think that's a lot of people's sort of take on him. But I'm interested to see how he's going to deal with Deadpool's fourth wall breaking, and I really hope that he's able to tone it down and keep it funny, because that's the thing about Deadpool is very rarely does he get very introspective in his pontificating of fourth wall breaking. So I wonder how he's going to deal with that. And I don't know. It's like you have someone that is like super serious as Batman versus someone who was not with Daredevil, and just the juxtaposition between the two of them, I think it's going to be really good. And I am confident that Grant Morrison can do something interesting with it. Not so much for Zeb Wells. No offense to Zeb Wells, but I don't know. Like I am definitely more interested in the Grant Morrison take on this than the Zeb Wells one, but I am looking forward to it. I think this is going to be very interesting, and I cannot wait for anything else that they're going to do with this.
I don't know if I'm kind of curious as to, can Grant Morrison make Wade funny? Does Grant Morrison do funny? Has he anything done funny? Like, I loved Invisibles, but that was not funny.
No. The Filth wasn't funny.
Was not funny.
His Doom Patrol was not funny. I don't know. That's the thing. We'll see. And he said Wade wasn't always funny.
That's a good point. That's a good
point. In the timeline, I have no idea. I don't think this is said anything. I think this is some weird ass thing where, like, from the George Perez and Kurt Busiek Justice League crossover. This is probably the two universes getting it on, and this is their weird sort of thing. So it's some weird ass, baby cosmos that that sounds like Grant Morrison. It's like It's like eternity and the equivalent of DC Universe had a baby, and this is where this stuff is taking place in. So there you go, Grant Morrison. You're welcome.
So BBB, it should be. Give it another couple of days. Once the final cutoff for what are we in? We're in May. So when June starts, once everything turns over, it should be up for pre-orders. The whole yes, it is.
Bar Lord, when the whole crossover situation, it's a cash grab. But when you look at when the last one was, you realize how special this should be. You take what you get. This is true. This is what I'm talking about. That's why we're going to read it. And we're going to probably criticize it, and it'll be fine.
Wouldn't it be funny if that was every page? Deadpool just like dancing around Batman and Batman just grimacing every panel?
Well, I honestly will, because the whole premise of the story is that Daredevil gets hired to knock someone off in Gotham City. And
Daredevil's in this book now?
Sorry. Someone had talking about how they would like Grant Morrison to write Daredevil, and I thought, what the hell? But anyway, sorry. So that's what I'm thinking about Deadpool. But yeah, Deadpool has to kill someone in Gotham, and then Batman is like, oh, not on my turf, not on my watch. So that's like the crux of it. But I just wonder, like, what cool things are we going to see? Like, are we going to see, weird stuff in Grant Morrison? Zeb Wells going to be Zeb Wells going to be traditional? Okay, look at this. Producer Kyle coming in hot with the comments. The cash grab mentality is so jaded. It really does feel like this is something the creators and publishers are just excited for and finally be able to do. I agree with you. I agree with you. And I don't want to be jaded because we were reading comics for so long. And I really hope that's what comes out of this. That's really what I hope that comes out of this. I really hope that it's fun and people enjoy it.
I have two things I want to say. One, my opinion, which we all get ready for. But first, they're relaunching Batman, written by Matt Fraction and drawn by Jorge Jimenez. That will be coming up in a couple months as well. So Matt Fraction writing Batman, that's going to be, that I will read for sure. So my whole take on this, my honest take, guys, is you take Batman, which DC hangs its hat on. Batman, there's 35 freaking titles of Batman.
Pays the bills.
Yes. And then who is the hottest? It's Deadpool. So while I think other creators might have better ideas of who they would want to use, I do see this as corporate synergy saying, look, Batman is our cash cow. Deadpool is our cash cow. But Deadpool has really slowed down lately with sales. But yes, that's how I see it. I don't see this as something that is, I'm waiting for both writers. Give me your best stories. But right now, this just looks like the face of DC meets the Merc that made them money, basically. So
I love it.
That's my 2 cents.
The Merc that made them money. I like that. That's good. You should trademark that. But on that note, it's time for us to take a quick little break, and we'll be right back. And we're actually talking about comics. Can you believe that?
Comic books.
I know. Stay tuned.
Whoa. Did you miss it? Yeah, they can go by pretty fast. Let's slow down the footage.
Welcome. It's time to skim some comics. Miles Morales Spider-Man, I will just tell you that Miles is very important in his role as a vampire. So
it's fine. If you like Hercules, read it. If you don't like it, don't worry about it. It's fine.
The art is still stunning. There's a panel, little spoiler, there's a panel in this where Chitauri first hits Lion-O, and he is the best "did she really just hit me" face I've ever seen put in a comic book.
Wow, live reviews of new comic books so you can be ready for New Comic Book Day. What is this? Oh, I see. It's Minute to Skim It. Part of the experience. FOC, a comic industry term for the final day a new comic can be ordered by a local comic shop. So, what does that mean to you? Well, it's your last chance to order a new comic book from your local comic shop. Order up! The FOC show will go over every book that's about to be cut off every Friday afternoon.
I'm going to highlight some of the stuff that I think is really worth paying attention to,
so that you can put in an order at your LCS for as many copies or as many variant covers as you want.
Sometimes the store needs to know to up their orders.
Never miss out on a popular comic again. Order up, part of the experience. Hey, did you know that you're invited to an art gala? No, I mean the fun kind. It's Sketch Up with Mog and Mel.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks again for joining us.
Featured guests talk about their new projects.
So it takes place in this fantasy world where the world has kind of lost its stories.
And life as an artist.
The hope was that you could make some amount of money when you exited art school.
While the ever-changing artist panel draws new works live in front of your eyes.
Oh, I like that. Working on this
And
shadow.
sexy. Sex, dude.
You still got a little bit of time.
Ooh, Phil, that's dope, dude.
Sketch Up with Mog and Mel. Thursday nights. Part of the experience.
Hey, we're on a roll. That threw me off. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the Geek Chat on the experience. I'm Beardy Rich.
Little Black Beardy Des. That's funny. Sorry, that was hilarious. Thanks for that, Kyle.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us and watching and commenting. We're really having a great night. We have a giveaway in case you just joined us. It's this Ultimate Spider-Man number 17 from Pete Woods. Happy Mother's Day. So
Yeah.
Father's Day's coming up. Are they going to do another one with
Pete?
MJ?
I'm just saying now, y'all, go get this cover because you'll never see this in the 616. So I'm just saying. You'll never...
Sadly, no. That is true.
So don't play the Switch game. I'm drinking bourbon over. Yeah, because we start looking the same. You know, it's time to put the bottle down. Okay, so the Father's Day book will be out by Christmas. Oh well. Anyway, okay, so here we go. The first book we're going to talk about is What If Donald Duck Became Iron Man? We're back at it with the Disney crossovers with Marvel characters. Is it just me? Probably is not just me, but have there been a lot of industry crossovers? Like we got Godzilla, we got the mouse
Predator.
What was that?
Predator.
Yeah, Predator.
Alien.
That's all they own Fox now, so it was only a matter of time. But it seems like we're getting a ton of like IP crossovers, and it's just like it's a lot. And I'm wondering if all these are hidden like they want them to. Like, I don't know. Well, Kelly seems to be loving them, so good for you, Kel.
BB got some sweet tea vodka.
That's wow. So what's your thought of this, Rich?
Let me get this out of the way.
All right.
Iron Duck is born. So the plot was by Steve Bailing. The script is by Luca Barbary. Oh my. Art was by Donald Sofriti. The colors are done by Lucio Ruvidati. And the lettering is by Laura Tartaglia. Hey, I got that one.
Just poor people.
It's by Dan Black. There we go. Michael White. Can we get some easy names for me next book? Actually, no. I read the credits for the next book trying to practice. All right. So
that was you practicing? Jesus.
Yeah, I practiced these. It took forever for the story to get into it, and then it was over. That is what I found this book to be. There was a lot of intro, and then bam, it happens, and then it's over. The book is done. And I thought it really needed a little bit more pacing. It needed someone to go in and maybe edit a little bit out. But the art was amazing. I will say that.
Yeah, I know this is for kids, but I was totally hoping it'd be like, duck in a glass bottle. Instead of demon in the glass bottle.
Yeah, no.
Horrible. No, but yeah, it was fun. It was for kids. I enjoyed it. It did not stay too long. It basically retold Iron Man's story. It was good seeing Gizmo. Gizmo Duck.
Yes.
That was fun seeing him. Although I thought he was a robot because the line that they drew around to keep his hat on, I thought it was like a panel and he was a robot, but it never turned out to be. That was just him and how he drew him.
I didn't even notice it.
I thought he was I straight up thought he was a robot. See the little line on the side of his head? It looks like his face is gonna like pop open, and I kept waiting for that to happen, but it didn't happen. So I was like, okay, whatever. But I enjoyed it. Again, like I said, it's pretty innocuous. You just you read it. It's definitely for kids. I do still think the price point is way too high for this to be on for kids. I really wish that they would. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I really wish that they would put this on like newsprint or bring down the cost a little. Like sell these for $1.99 and give them to some kids. You can afford
even $2.99. Come on, $2.99.
Even $2.99. And put it on some newsprint. Like I think people would really get a kick out of reading those old comics like this on newsprint, like real kids comics. I think it'd be really, really fun. Although probably, unfortunately, because the printing industry now is all printed on this, it probably would cost them an arm and a leg to go back to newsprint.
I think, yeah.
But again, I thought it was fun. It didn't overstay its welcome. I thought the pacing was fine on it. How everything happened, and then the Beagle brothers were great. It's always a treat to see them, and then Uncle Scrooge.
So the next one is in July. It's the end of July, and it's What If Goofy Became Spider-Man?
So that's the one that I'm looking forward to, because as a Spider-Man stan, I want to see what happens, and I think that's going to be I don't know. It's just fun. These are fun. Some of them are definitely better than others. Same thing with the Godzilla, although I think all the Godzilla ones have been really, really good. These on the end, Godzillas. I thought the Godzillas have been. I think all of them.
That Fantastic Four one was not very good.
Okay, I'll give you that one. It started off a little weak, but it did.
But they've been a lot stronger. Yeah.
Yeah, they are sticking the landings. So, but yeah, Spider Goofy, I'm here for it. We will be reviewing that in July, so definitely stay tuned for that one. Now, another comic that I was I was surprised about, but then I realized he's coming. He's going to be in the Superman movie, so of course they're going to do a limited series about him. But that was Mr. Terrific Year One, #1, which I thought I wasn't expecting it, but then it came out, and I thought, okay, we're gonna get another sort of like, what was it? We're gonna get a sort of, almost like Black Lightning kind of thing, a little bit with it. I wasn't sure what was going on, but this is earlier in his career, I guess, because I'm trying to see what the timeline is for it. You almost had it, Kyle. You almost had it. There you go. So it's Mr. Terrific Year One. I'm a fan of Year One books. I'm really enjoying the Batman and Robin Year One story. I think the art is great. I thought the art in this one was really good too. You want to?
Yep. Al Letson did the script. Valentine Delandro did the art. Marissa Louise did the coloring for The Past, which was pages 4 through 20. And Edwin Gailman did the art and colors for The Present Day, which was pages 1, 2, and 3. Lucas Gattoni did the lettering, and that cover is by Delandro and Louise. And then Doc Shaner, who I love, and Mitch Gerald did variant covers for it. And then Dennis Cohen did a ratio variant. I did not buy this. I read the
PDF
PDF that they had sent when this book was being ordered, and I was like, no.
Really?
So,
aw, come on. What didn't you like about it?
okay, so I read this probably an hour before we went on, and I was like, okay, so then I read this, and then I started setting up the living room, and I was like, why is this book existing? Who is this book for? Why?
Me.
Who asked for this? And then I went, just like you said, I went, oh, he's in a movie coming up, so why not? The art for the first 3 pages, I wish were all the pages. It was just a little bit. Oops, sorry, earthquake. Not really. I guess I did not care.
Okay. So
I did not care.
I've enjoyed the character for a very long time, since he was with the JSA, and I felt it was really, I felt it was time to give a little bit of backstory. I am sad that his backstory was as sad as it is. Like, this year one is sad. Like, seriously, like, okay, his wife and his kid are dead. Okay. He sells his company to an evil
horrible
industrious
woman.
Okay. And then his best friend gets killed. And I'm like, okay. So there's just a lot of stuff. And he's in depression. So there's like a lot of trauma in this first issue. And I was like, okay. So I guess they're trying to do that to make like it really, like, when he becomes Mr. Terrific and really kind of like sees the good in everybody, he has to have this sort of like super traumatic background in order to motivate him to become who he's going to become. So for me, I was excited about how he was going to become Mr. Terrific. However, I was not expecting it to be so dramatic. Like, damn, like there's been a lot of death. Like, there was a lot of death in this issue, and I was like, wow. So it's just a lot. It was very much a Debbie Downer type of issue, but that was the setting they needed to be. It sounds like Mr. Melodrama. Stop it, Kelly. But yeah, I liked it. I thought the artwork was okay. It reminded me of a stripped down Edwards who did 1985, and was a guy, I can't remember their names. There's 2 guys that are 2 artists that this reminds me of. I think it was Lee Edwards. Kyle probably knows. And there was another person who did a Captain America book a while ago, and I can't remember his name, but they do that sort of like really blocky, very heavily shaded kind of artwork. It's almost like Cully Hamner, if Cully Hamner had a much looser and more solid. Yeah, John Paul Leon is definitely another one that you're right, Steve. It's definitely like in that kind of wheelhouse of art is what it's coming from. So a lot of like dark lines, a lot of bulky blacks. So I thought it was good. I thought it matched the tone of the book. So I will be reading it. I am a sucker for year ones. I don't know what it is. I really like them. I have read the Robin year one and the Batgirl year one multiple times. They are both fantastic. If you have not read them, you really should. No, sort of not so much Tony Harris, because Tony Harris can actually, like, his figures, even though they can be like dark, there still is that detail in it, and his style is a lot more flat than that. But yeah, I definitely agree with you. Tony Harris is one of my favorite artists. So, but yeah, I will be picking it up. Sorry I didn't like it. Maybe I'll get you to read it in trade. Probably not, but who knows? But who knows? So another book that we're gonna read that I kind of was like, whatever. I don't know. Kyle says, I can see the art you are talking about, but I can't put the name that's killing me. Exactly, right? It's crazy. Tommy Lee Edwards, I think that's his name, was the guy.
I think so.
Yeah, Tommy Lee Edwards, and then the other one I can't remember. I'll look it up later, maybe. I don't know. Probably not. But anyway, the book that I probably would not read, and it's continuing, was kind of annoying to me, and that is Giant Size X-Men #1, which is the Kamala Khan story, I guess. I don't know.
We are going to be reading all of these too.
We are? We are?
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
I'm going to make you suffer through them with me.
Okay.
So I got the Art Adams cover.
Isn't it beautiful? Oh, it's
so beautiful.
He did an homage to his own cover for classic X-Men. It is beautiful. It is beautiful.
And she's not on it, which made it even better.
I know. I cannot wait because when I was at New York Comic Con last year, I got a signed copy of a print of the original classic X-Men cover that I have to hang in my office. And if he does a large cover like that, I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna put them side by side. I'm a huge Art Adams fan. Love him. Oh, beautiful.
I think Ryan Sook may be who you might be thinking of.
Nope.
Too.
I'll look it up.
Okay.
Nate got me. Okay, talk about this book. I'll look it up.
All right. So Giant Size X-Men #1. Basically, for the next 6 or 7 issues, Miss Khan is going to be going through the X-Men's greatest hits. So there's a backup story. Really? I can't find the stupid credits. Look at us. Everyone's a little discombobulated. All right. The writers of this, Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly, they seem to be the pairing that do a lot of books. The artist was Adam Kubert. The color artist is Laura Martin. And for the second story in this, about another yet retconned character no one's going to give two shits about in less than a year, the writer was Al Ewing. The artist was Sarah Pichelli. The color artist was Federico Blee. Lettering is done by VC's Clayton Cowles. And that cover was done by Adam Kubert and Laura Martin. So in this, yes, I'm just going to spoil it. Old Man Legion shows up.
Did you see it though? Did you see it?
What?
Mother Connie? I thought that was Rachel. When they're talking about Mother Scotty, I totally thought like,
Mother Scott. Yes.
I was like, oh,
no.
cool. We're getting something about Rachel, and then and it's Old Man Legion. I'm like, okay, we get an Old Man Legion story, and I was like, okay, whatever.
Yes, I can say these names. So Old Man Legion shows up. Blah blah blah. The future's bleak. Legion's actually dead. The rest of the voices in his head are running the body, and he comes and he sends Kamala back to when the X-Men were taken by Krakoa. Interesting little tidbit, though, is that Scott Summers remembers his time for being in the future. So he knows who she is. He knows all about her.
That was a typo because when they went back, they weren't supposed to remember anything about what happened unless they changed that.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure Jean was supposed to mind wipe them all.
Yeah, before they went back. So it's like, okay.
So basically, Kamala knows who all these people are. Talks about them like she knows them. And then she talks to Krakoa in the Krakoan language. And then and then her mutant powers show up. So if you watched us last week or the week before with Superman, his new power is he can glow. Hers is she can glow too. So a lot of glowy powers coming up in these books. But Legion unlocks Kamala's mutant powers and she takes him down. And then he sends her to the next event, which is the Dark Phoenix Saga. That's the book in a nutshell. And they really, really, really want Kamala to do well. They really are pushing this character. She was in NYX. That was canceled at 9. Now we have a bunch of one-shots. That's one story. They're really trying. They're really trying to make her fetch, unfortunately.
Sorry. I was not expecting you to say fetch. So the best part about this was the Kubert. Was Adam Kubert?
Yeah. The art was amazing.
Yeah, the best thing
It was
about
like
it was
reading the old books when he
yeah,
penciled them.
yeah. So for that, I thought it was fun, and that was the one that I really was like, I was like, okay, this is fun, and I just really enjoyed that part of it was the comic book. Sorry, was his style and his art. I hadn't seen it in a while, so seeing him draw like Banshee and Thunderbird felt really, really good. I thought, okay, this is really good.
Yes.
Stop. The Scott Summers hate. Okay. But other than that, I thought it was a fine book. I did not like the ending story at all. I'm tired of these Omega level mutants just popping out of nowhere doing their things. So Professor X meets this. So the backup story, which is I guess going to continue on, and she's going to be the crux of this. Sometime in like the 60s or the 70s, Professor X was in Italy, and he's trying to recruit this woman who is a mutant, and she's like Mimic, in that she can mimic or sync. She can sync up and mimic people's powers, but instead of how Sync can use it, and and maybe it is almost like Sync. Anyway, she'll take your power. She doesn't take it. She will get your power, and then she will be the best at it. That's her power. So she's able to overpower Professor X. But she has this sort of like, she's like a freedom fighter who, despises fascists. I mean, I guess it's Italy around that time. It was like Mussolini. No, that was even earlier. Sorry. But anyway, she's like a freedom fighter, but she's like, you'll forget you ever met me, Professor X, and then I'll show myself later, blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, okay. I'm so tired of like these super ass people that are just like popping up and being like, I'm stronger than you. I can do whatever I want. Blah, 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 blah. It was just annoying. It was just annoying to me. So that was the one thing about the ending that I did not like, was just that there's all these like Omega level mutants just running around, and like, okay, so Professor X wouldn't have saw her again, or something would have said something to him about her. I don't know. It's just stuff like that is just kind of annoying to me. Like, that's why Forget Me Not is so refreshing.
So
anyway, I'm sorry, that was a rant. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. No, it's cool. I like when you rant.
That story was just so annoying to me.
I just hate when they introduce characters, a retconned, another one that, we've seen this before and they've all disappeared. Amelia Vaught, remember her? No one does.
Oh my God.
So I am behind on Magic. The only reason I'm going to start reading it is because Danny's in the book. When I learned Danny was in the book, I went and got all the issues. So I will get caught up on them in the next couple of weeks. Yes, the Summers family tree is crazy.
As we're wrapping up, I'll have to say if I had to make an X-Men team, who would my 5 members be? They've already made it, and it was the Outback team. The 5 of those would be fantastic. So for me, it's always, you need a heavy, you need a mind witch, as Chris Claremont says it. You need a scrapper, someone that can get in there. So you need a heavy, a mind reader, a scrapper, some kind of energy manipulator. And then you need the teleporter, or someone who can give transport. So those 5, if you look at all the teams, they always consist of roughly those 5 types of characters. Check it out.
I think that Remender, I think it was Remender who wrote it. It was when it was Wolfsbane, Warpath, Wolverine, Archangel.
That was Remender.
That was Remender?
Yeah, I think so. That was his X-Force.
His X-Force, yeah. That was, I really enjoyed the beginning of that when Rain was, all bitey. I like that.
Yeah, but you're all bitey. Okay, everybody, it's time. If you have not put in your hashtag Geek Chat, please do so. You have this chance to win this 1 in 25 variant cover from Pete Woods of Ultimate Spider-Man number 7.
Geek Chat, come on.
Yes.
Hashtag Geek Chat.
For the Ultimate Spider-Man number 17. Please do know that we will miss you next week because we will not be here. Hopefully, producer Kyle will have recovered and he will be able to take our spot. So at least you'll have 1 Beardo instead of 2 or 3, because producer Kyle's ever present. So, all righty. Do you mean Scrappy Doo? No. Anyway. What? Alrighty, everybody, let's go. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage. Whoever wins, producer Kyle's gonna put in the comments how to win.
Oh yeah. BBB, what time and when, so that people in the chat can find you?
Yes. Yes, BBB Haunted Comics. They do a show here on Experience as well. Please check them out. Please stay tuned for
Mog
and Mel, as they have fantastic artists who usually draw while they're talking, and they talk about industry stuff and things that they like, and cookies and colors and ponies, all that good stuff. And winner, please put in there. What I don't know. Please put in your information. That way I can send this beautiful cover to you for Mother's Day. So yes. So BB Comics, you can show up next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Oh, look at that. We got Pacific, we got Eastern, and we got Mountain Time.
I have to learn a third time?
Just add an hour.
Okay.
But yes, but I'm sure BB Comics is a mountain man. So I'll leave it at that. Y'all have a great day, and
thanks for showing up.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Join the party. Head over to our Linktree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.